So Amanda, can you introduce yourself? Tell our audience who you are and what you do.
Amanda Reeves with Columbus Clinical Research, and I'm the Site Operation Manager.
So tell us a little bit about Columbus Clinical Research. What do you do exactly?
We conduct clinical research trials for pharmaceutical companies before they get FDA approved.
Wow. So you're right on the bleeding edge, aren't you, working with new opportunities and new things that can really help a lot of people and working in a very mission critical part of the industry, because if a drug doesn't prove that it's safe for everybody, then that drug may never come to market. So you guys have quite a responsibility that you've got there. So it would seem to me that technology would be very important, because the information that you have, the records you have, the confidentiality that you must have for your customers to feel confident in working with you. Just how important is technology in the running of your operation?
It plays a critical role. We function day to day with patient information, valuable pharmaceutical information. So to have everything completely backed up and the assurance that we're not going to have any server or network failures is very important.
So as I understand it, you had a company that had been with you at the beginning, and they did well, but then they kind of grew out of their grew out of you maybe, and they just became too big and really weren't being responsive. What kind of problems were you having before you decided to move to CMIT Solutions of Northwest Columbus and Anil Vadi? I mean, what were some of the problems that you saw?
Yes, it started off as a small company, and then as they expanded, they weren't giving us the attention that we requested. We started getting a number of viruses on our computers that were wiping computers out for days, and we just can't function as a business like that.
Now, Amanda, I know that currently CMIT manages over 20 desktops plus a server for you, but let's just do the math on just the cost of these viruses that infected your critical computers. Now, how many computers were infected?
There were about 3 computers.
So you got 3 computers, so those are 3 people that are working in your office. And how long might they be down?
They were down for about 3 days.
So you got 3 people down 3 days, and if we get an 8-hour day, so that's 9 times 8, that's 72 hours. So we got 72 hours of downtime every time that virus would hit, and I don't know what you pay people in your research lab. I'm sure they get more than $20 an hour, but if we just did $20 an hour, then that's like close to $1,500 every time that would happen to you. Does that make sense to you? Does that seem like a fair evaluation? Okay. Mm-hmm. So why CMIT Solutions? How did they approach solving your problems, and why did you have the confidence that Anil Vadi and his group were going to be able to help you?
They assured us, they provided us with different solutions for the issues that we were having. They came in and immediately and effectively took charge. The transition from one company to another was very smooth. There wasn't any downtime on our end. They addressed all of our questions, and they were at a reasonable price as well, which always helps.
That changeover's got to be scary for most people. I mean, when you're going from one IT provider to another, what did they do to make sure that changeover actually went smoothly?
They walked us through it, and then their staff was here daily to help us make sure that everything was transitioned, systems and services were switched over, and they also spoke on numerous occasions with our old company to get requested documents and programs that they needed.
A lot of times when I talk to people, they have no clue about how their technology works, or they have no documentation. Did CMIT do anything to help you really understand and know how to manage the technology that you have, all the passwords and all that kind of stuff?
Oh yeah, they were very helpful, explained everything to us, and made sure we understand and were aware of what was going on, what was needed. So yeah, they were great with that.
So responsiveness was a big problem before. How responsive is CMIT Solutions?
Very. If we have a problem or a question, they respond within minutes. So that's very nice, especially in the business we're in. We need to know an answer to a computer system, or if we can't get on a certain website immediately. So they're very helpful.
Now, you're on CMIT Marathon service, which is doing 24/7, 365-day a year monitoring of your system, which is more than any human being can do. So can you explain a little bit about why you went that way? I mean, a lot of people are kind of on the break fix mode. When something goes wrong, they call up their custom, their IT provider, and they fix it. But why did you decide to go with that managed services?
For our company, it was better to have a preventative plan in place so when something did break, we would be ahead of it and it wouldn't break instead of waiting for something to happen and then fix it. So now CMIT is monitoring everything, and we haven't had any issues, so they can catch a problem before it even happens.
So have you had any viruses since they took over?
No, we have not.
So you've had 100% uptime?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's
Yep,
pretty
yeah,
good.
it's been wonderful.
So you've also are on Marathon Guardian, which is both backing up on-site and off-site. And I have to tell you, from interviewing a lot of people, the most common comment I get from people is, well, we thought we were fully backed up.
Mm-hmm.
And most people discover when they really look at it that they weren't as backed up as they thought. What did you discover about your previous backups?
Yes, we found out that we weren't as backed up as we had thought and hoped that we were as well. So CMIT came in and they made sure we're fully backed up. We get a report every month letting us know of our services and any issues that they may find. We also, in the morning, with our computers, we can see any updates that have occurred. So we know that the system's running.
Well, you used to think that all of your other backups were working. And, the biggest problem for backups is you don't know whether they really work until you really need them, unless you do something like a bare metal restore. You do something where people can actually come in and show you that they can get a document. Has CMIT done that, where they actually come in and say, let's pretend that you had a problem and let's go see if we can get your documents back?
Yes, they have.
That must make you sleep better at night.
It sure does.
So what is CMIT like to work with? How do they treat you? Are they geek speak guys? Are they able to talk English? I mean, how do they work with you?
Yes, they explain everything very thoroughly in our language, so we know what they're talking about. They're very responsive. Anytime we have a problem, like I said, they answer it within minutes. Very helpful if we have any concerns, questions about why we're using one system instead of another. They make great recommendations. They don't always just go for the highest price. They want to know what's feasible for our needs and our company.
So if you were talking to any other business owner in the Columbus area, what would you tell them that you think they can expect from CMIT Solutions of Northwest Columbus?
I think they could expect 100% quality and effectiveness, and they've just overall been a wonderful, easy company to work with.